So Highland Noise Podcast, I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with
Kasey from Deadlands.
And some questions to say about the upcoming EP 7. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response, the announcement so far?
Thanks so much. It's been crazy. I mean, we've got a lot of people super excited, and I think it's just been a long time coming, and we're really hyped for it.
Hell yeah. Well, the EP fucking rips. I've been patiently waiting for this one.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And is there any meaning behind the EP title or cover art?
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot more that I feel like a lot of people haven't noticed just yet. One of it being it's a concept album, so we decided to take on the 7 deadly sins for it. And so that's where 7 came from, of course. Yeah. But the cover art actually is a combination of all the single artworks as tarot cards. And yeah, so essentially like and let me tell you what, like I am so attention to detail. I'm like actually insane. So like I was like, all right, so we gotta like I really want these tarot cards to be symbolic of every sin that they are, because each song is a sin.
Yeah.
And so I wanted almost the EP to be like Pandora's box, which is why on the cover art you'll see like that beautiful box that has 7 on it. It's like ancient, ornate, and all the sins are supposed to belong in that box. All the tarot cards are supposed to belong in that box. Once you open that box, all hell breaks loose. All the sins are released, and now they're taking over the world. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, that's so fucking dope.
That's fucking dope.
Right?
Yeah, I love it.
I feel like it's super cool, especially like because I feel like it ties in a bunch of different worlds and like combines them into one. So I'm glad you guys appreciate it too.
Absolutely.
Well, I was reading all of the press materials as I was listening to the EP, and I'm like, there is so much to unpack here. Because typically, like with an EP, sometimes the conversations stay a little bit more surface level because just a collection of singles. There's no concept. But I feel like with this, there's a lot there to unpack, which I appreciate.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
I'm so glad you guys noticed.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm curious, like, was it the idea from the get-go to dive into the 7 deadly sins for the concept for the EP, or did that kind of come as you guys were writing?
That actually came as we were writing, but more so one day. So originally, actually, the EP was going to be poker themed, but like I do not know how to play poker.
So that'll definitely affect it a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. But like I don't know why I was thinking of that to begin with. I thought maybe because like, oh, like I was looking up a poker glossary and all the terms are like super cool, like
that's dope, yeah.
Dead man's hand, like in House of Cards, which is the first thing that we released, like House of Cards has over 30 poker terms in it alone. And it's like it's really cool to think about, like thinking like, oh man, like that was supposed to be poker themed. But also Villain was also going to be one of those songs where it was poker themed, because villain is also a poker term, like believe it or not.
Today I learned.
Yeah, but
we don't know how to play poker either.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody really does. So thank God we didn't go that route. And so when we were writing, like one day I was just playing Fortnite, and I was like, oh my God, light bulb moment. Why don't we make it about the 7 deadly sins? And then, you know, it ultimately turned into like a really cool reflective project, I feel like, because the process of writing these songs, like I ultimately tried to take out like the worst parts of myself and put them down on paper.
Damn.
So like pride, I'm a super prideful person. Like and I'm like, we're going to therapy, we're working on it, but like,
hell yeah.
Like the even gluttony, like gluttony, the song for gluttony, I wrote about eating disorders and addiction, which are 2 things that hit like really close to home for me. And when I was writing a lot of these songs, like to look inward and like almost fish out like the most evil parts of myself, to almost rip them out like venom. At least that's what I feel like I'm doing with these songs. Like it's really crazy, and I hope that people will listen to these songs and realize like maybe I'm drawn to this one because I need to fix myself. Maybe I'm drawn to this sin because I committed oh so often, and we could all become better people. But that's what it did for me when writing it. So hopefully it'll trickle down a little bit.
Yeah.
Damn. So are you feeling any anxiety or stress kind of with releasing these tracks because it is kind of like the deeper, darker side of you?
A little bit, definitely a little bit, but I think since we released, we've had 4 singles come out and everybody has really been loving them. And it's also like we all have deeper, darker parts of ourselves. We're listening to rock, we're listening to metal. That's why we listen to it because we all know that we have our own demons to battle and ultimately like what we were talking about before, the box, like the EP is the box that they will stay in for the
Mhm.
rest of
True.
my life, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, um, I feel like if we're talking about the weaker parts of ourselves, the more evil parts of ourselves, and being upfront and honest and knowing where our flaws come from, like we can all better understand each other more.
Mhm.
Hmm.
That makes sense.
Absolutely.
Now, no pun intended with the box, but did you struggle at all with the concept and writing within to fit within these boxes, versus just whatever?
Honestly, no. Like I
Hmm.
I thought it was going to be a lot harder than it was, but ultimately like if I couldn't find something within myself to write about,
Mhm.
like for example the greed song, I don't think I'm very greedy as a person. I mean, some people could say otherwise, I don't know, but I ultimately was like, all right, well, where can I get inspiration from that like really pisses people off, and that is the epitome of the sin. And politics is a great like example of greed, whether no matter who is in office, they all suck just the same.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like you might as well write a song about how greedy the government is,
Yeah.
and it's
True.
easy. Like
Yeah.
and hopefully they'll listen to it and be like, wow, is this about me? It's like, yeah, damn right it's about you.
Definitely. Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
Right.
what song off the EP took longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
Ooh, oh my God, this is such a hard question. Ah, so I'll tell you what, none of the singles were the hard ones to write.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, I think the one that took us the longest to write, I guess since its inception was more
Mhm.
off of the EP. It's one of the ones that haven't been released yet. And I think the reason why is just because we were trying to shuffle through choruses like for years on that song. That song originally wasn't going to be on the CP anyway.
Hmm.
But I was fighting CJ on it. I was like, CJ, we gotta get this on the EP. This is such a good song. Like, come on, bro. And he was like, all right, fine. So we started working on it, but it took 2 years to get it to the point where it's at now. And
Wow.
I am so happy with the way that it ended up.
Hmm.
And your
So
personal
two
favorite? Oh,
years. Is that like active, like you're revisiting it every single time you bring songs in, or is it just kind of like you put it down, you came back to it, you put it down, you came back to it? What was the
Pretty much.
frequency?
mhm.
Yeah, we
Okay.
pretty much were putting it down and coming back to it a lot because we were bouncing between other songs.
Hmm.
I mean, for the most part, like we had House of Cards that we wrote within like 2 days, like structurally and melodically, lyrically. All that was done within 2 days, so that
Yeah.
was quick and
Absolutely.
out of the way. We
Hmm.
had Villain, which was also written in a matter of 2 days. Like CJ and our producer at the time, Eli, they both wrote on an acoustic guitar. They got the structure and then they just produced it a little bit and brought it to me. I wrote the lyrics within a couple hours and then we recorded it in the same day and it was done.
Hmm.
Kundalini took 2 days too because we went down to Florida to meet with the Pretty Wild and we just banged that out as fast as possible and that was such a sick experience. Shout out to them. Shout out to Andrew Wade. Like they're absolutely phenomenal
Mhm.
and you guys should totally have them on here at one point. Um,
Absolutely.
Sweet. Hmm.
and then Limbo, I think was the second longest, maybe third.
Okay.
Um, just because we were working with Justin DeBliek. He used to be in Ice Nine Kills, and now he produces for
Yeah.
like Motionless in White, a bunch of big names, and he's awesome. So he's about 5 hours drive away from us, so it just took us like 5 hours to get there, and we were just like sitting on it, and we wanted to write it with him. So
Mhm.
but it was great. I think all in all, that one took us like 5 days to finish up.
Damn.
Oh
But
wow.
as
Hmm.
for my personal favorite, man, oh my God, this is so difficult. Because they're all my children, they're all
Yeah.
my babies,
Yeah.
you
Yeah, it's hard to
know?
pick
Got
one.
to pick your favorite
Yeah.
Gotta.
child.
Oh
Yeah. Gun to
God.
your head. Which one's your favorite?
Yeah. I honestly, I think I'm gonna have to go with either Kundalini or more because Kundalini, like, to do that with the Pretty Wild was such an amazing experience, and they are such good people through and through, and they're so talented, they're so smart. One of them's a literal ninja, the
Oh
other one
shit.
is
So
a
badass.
playwright. Like, how crazy is that? And like they were so down to earth, and like I actually just spoke to Jill yesterday morning, and she's just awesome. They're both absolutely incredible, and Andrew Wade himself is also phenomenal.
Mhm.
um and then Moore is just so personal to me. Like Moore is pretty much, I mean, like I've struggled with both addiction and eating disorder, so like having those come out, and like that's just like, I guess that's my heart on a platter, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm
That's
curious about the timeline for the EP. You gave us the timeline for each track, but like when you guys kind of started writing the EP, when you had the masters in hand, rough dates, they don't have to be exact.
Yeah, it took a minute. So House of Cards, I think we were writing this EP for like 2 years just through and through. But we just had a lot going on. So we first dropped House of Cards as a single, didn't really think it was gonna belong on an EP.
Mhm.
And that was, I want to say, 2022 in August, I
Mhm.
believe. And then Villain was probably, I think it was in like June of 2024. So we had like a nice gap. And during that time, we had gone on tour. We were trying to get all the record label stuff figured out. 'Cause that in that during that time is when we had signed to Spine Farm.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Uh, we just had a lot going on, and we were also just trying to figure a lot of stuff out internally with like our team and everything. And then I think after we released Kundalini, which was February of this year, is when we really like hit the pedal to the metal, because then we released Limbo a month ago, 2 months ago. I don't even know. My concept of time is so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we did 8 weeks between Kundalini and Limbo, and then we're gonna be doing the next 8 weeks with June 27th as the EP drop.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Hell yeah.
Finally.
Finally, it's
Yay!
finally coming out to be here.
Yeah, damn straight. And would you be able to tell us your favorite lyric off the EP and what it means to you?
Ooh, oh my God, you're killing me here.
Making it even worse.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
making it
going in even
even
finer.
worse.
Yeah. Hmm.
Shit. I mean, I love House of Cards, like, was the first body of work that we had come out with that I really felt super, super proud of. Like, as much as our first EP, Sense of Myself, is, I mean, it's good for like a 20-year-old writing it. Like, don't get me wrong. I had wrote Crushed when I was 15.
God damn.
Um,
That
yeah,
song
so
rips, by the
like,
way.
thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad. Like, I was very young when I wrote that, and like, as much as I was proud of it at the time, like, it it didn't age as well as House of Cards, I think
Mhm.
will. Just because like the lyrics in there are just so good, and they're so punny. And
Mhm.
I was channeling a lot of Ice Nine Kills that day, so I was very happy about that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think the lyrics, now you get a taste of my poker face. I see right through your paper soul is like it goes really hard.
That's dope.
Um, and you've drawn a dead man's hand, like especially going back to like the poker references, like I think it's cool. And then I also love in Kundalini, the Pretty Wild is like super spiritual, and I find that so interesting and so cool. Um, and when we were writing the song, we had this one line that Jill like really wanted to keep in, and I was trying so hard to figure out like, all right, how can we keep it in? We couldn't find like a straight rhyme. And I was just like, I don't know if it's gonna stay in there. Like I don't know if we could really fit it. but we found the last word to that line, and it worked so perfectly for the message that they were trying to convey in that line. And it's draining prana power for the masquerade, which
Ooh,
probably makes no sense to you guys
sounds
if
so
you're not
fucking cool
spiritual.
though.
Yeah,
It
like
just sounds cool, yeah.
it's so sick. So Kundalini is envy,
Mhm.
right? So
Mhm.
it's about like being green and essentially how like envy will drain your life force. And
Mhm.
prana is like the spiritual word for life force.
Mhm.
And when you're envious, like a lot of the times you're wearing a mask and you got a knife behind your back, right? Like you're just like,
Mhm.
haha, love you. And then like when they turn around, you're just gonna stab them in the back
Mhm.
because you
Mhm.
you're just jealous of them. So the fact that we incorporated draining prana power for the masquerade, I am so glad that we kept that in there, and I think it's such a cool lyric that you will never hear anywhere else.
Damn
Hell yeah,
straight.
that's
That's fucking
dope.
awesome.
So where was your headspace at while you guys were writing this EP?
Oh man, I mean it was just a lot. Like we were it was our first EP on a record label, and we were just trying our best. Like CJ was really grinding out and writing as many instrumentals as he possibly could, and I was just trying to get a grip on like the pressure of it all and
Hmm.
feeling like,
Mhm.
oh my God, like this is our first impression to the world. Like we want to make sure that we're doing it right. And we definitely were nervous, but as soon as we got down to the nitty-gritty of it, like we knew like, dude, we just have to do what we were born to do, and that's write music. Like that's it. That's the point blank period of it all.
Mhm. Damn
Absolutely.
straight. Simple
Oh,
as that.
hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this EP for the first time? Should they do it in the car with friends, stuck with headphones on? Should they work out to it? What do you personally recommend?
I mean, I think working out to it is a sick, sick way to listen to it because they're all heavy hitters. Like, we don't have the softest song on the EP is Limbo.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So, having that be the softest and the fact that it still has like a pretty crazy breakdown, like, you could totally work out to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, however they want, really. I mean, there's no right or wrong way to listen to it, and I think it depends on how you want it listen to it. Do you want to look introspectively? Like, should you just listen to that in your bedroom? Like, I don't know. I guess that's just up for them to decide, but I would say working out is not the wrong answer.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this question should be super, super quick off the top of your head. I want you to describe this EP for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Heavy, dark,
Hmm.
violent?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Hell yeah. We'll lock it in. We'll lock it in. I think it's perfect. And in that same vein, but not as much pressure, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want this EP to evoke in your listeners?
Um, yeah, the emotion is pretty much just self-reflection, if that counts as an emotion.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, I I want them to feel whatever is right. Like, I mean, it's such a hard question just because these each of these songs will invoke a different emotion in you, and that's the
Mhm.
point of them. Like they each song is supposed to be describing a different sin of each person, and if you relate to one sin more than the other, like I just hope that you'll be like, all right, why? Is it because somebody did this to me, or is it because I do this to somebody and I need to like control myself at some point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Oh,
Hell
heard.
yeah. So can you talk about any particularly challenging or standout moments during the creation of the EP, positive or negative?
I think the most challenging thing was writing the More chorus, and maybe also writing Die in Paradise. Die in Paradise was a little tricky just because we had so many versions of it, and it was more progressive than most of what we've done, I think.
Mhm.
At
Mhm.
least at first in the demo stages it was. And then when we turned it into what it is now, like that one I felt like grew on us more than the others. Because through first listen, I felt like, oh yeah, like these are all Deadlands, and I feel like that one is the one where it's like really different for us and something that I never would have thought that we would have written.
Okay.
Straight. All
Yeah.
right. And for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour. You're at a gas station for a rest stop. You're going in. What is your snack of choice?
Am I being healthy or am I cheating?
It's like halfway through tour, so whatever that means to you.
Okay. All right. If it was an off day, I'd be
Okay.
getting a glazed donut if it was 7-Eleven
Okay.
Solid.
because 7-Eleven donuts slap so hard.
Hmm.
Um, I also love sour stuff. Like
Okay, true.
Sour Patch Extremes, bro. Sign me up. They're so
Yeah.
good.
Preaching to the choir. Yeah. Hmm.
Exactly. Also can't go wrong with like a Core Power Fairlife protein shake. Like 42
Hell yeah.
grams of protein, like all good with that. And if we're on a show day, probably a pickle. Like one of
Fucking
those
love
like
pickles.
those
Yeah.
packaged pickles.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
the little bag pickles.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. I love those. They're so good.
Oh yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. Hell yeah.
Hell
You
yeah.
Hmm.
catch the vibe. You
Yeah,
catch the
Oh,
vibe.
catching the vibe.
dude, caught. Yeah. Hell yeah.
And on topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be and why?
Oh man. Well, it has to be pasta because I'm a pastafarian, bro.
Of
Like
course.
Okay.
I am a pasta addict and it's actually really bad. Like I need to stop, but I'm not gonna stop.
Hell no.
Never too much pasta.
Never,
No.
never, never, never. I think. Oh, but also CJ hates pasta, so maybe not.
Oh, well, that might change things.
I think
Okay.
so. I think so. Now, I guess we'll say we are birria tacos
Okay.
because we both fuck with birria tacos
Hmm.
and we always go out to get birria tacos on tour, off tour, like we always go. There's this place I live on Long Island and it's called Taco Island
Mhm.
and dude,
Awesome.
I'm telling you, I've had birria on the border of Mexico and El Paso, Texas. I've had birria in California, like in LA, and nobody does it like Taco Island.
In
Nobody
Rhode
does it
Island.
in
Long
Long
Island.
Island.
Long Island, my bad. Other
No,
island.
no, no,
Oh,
yeah. And in New
huh.
York, like crazy. Crazy. I would have never expected, but they I'm telling you, it's so different. It's different from anywhere I've had.
Hmm. But it's
But like
better.
it's better because they
Hmm.
also have pork birria. Have you ever had it?
I've never had pork. No, no.
Oh, dude, you're
That feels
missing out.
like cursed. Are you sure?
Oh my God, pulled pork birria tacos is crazy. It's so nuts. Just trust. Trust and believe. If you ever come to Long Island, dude, like,
Yeah.
trust me, you will not regret it. Pork birria tacos at
Mm.
Taco Island is
Taco
like my
Island.
kryptonite, dude.
Hell yeah. You know what? We line up on like all the other food, so I'm gonna trust you the next time I'm there. You
All
know,
right.
I'll
Yeah.
take a little I'll take a little trip out to Taco Island.
A
Just so dope,
must
honestly.
stop, dude. A must stop.
Damn straight. All right. Okay, okay. And for these last couple questions, we're actually gonna shift away from music if that's okay with you.
Totally.
Cool. So we're actually gonna go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
It's got to be pasta
Of
now.
course. There you go. There's the pasta answer.
There's the
Figured.
pasta. There's
Yeah.
the pasta. I'm gonna go with lasagna
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
because I fucking love lasagna.
Shout
I
out
like
lasagna.
like
Mhm.
violently
Lasagna.
love lasagna. It's so good. Cheese, pasta, sauce. Can't
Layered
go
on
wrong.
top of each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't get much better than that.
Exactly. And maybe we could add like a side of crab legs. If I was on death row, bro, I would be lining my stomach with everything so that they could not carry me to the chair.
You and me both. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm dying in that chair
Yeah.
actually
Exactly.
while I'm
Yes.
eating.
Yes, correct, correct, correct. So lasagna, maybe a side of snow crab legs, also the fave, and then a beach bum from Tropical Smoothie as the drink.
All
Hell
right.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think delish.
Yeah.
I agree.
Hell yeah.
So if you could live in one fiction world for a week, where would you live?
You guys ever play Wizard 101?
I was actually a Pirates 101 girly growing up.
You know what? I'll take it though.
Mhm.
I'll take it. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I would totally just live in Wizard 101 world, bro. Like, call me a nerd or whatever, but I think that that stuff is dope. Like, you have so many options. You have like Oh my God, there's like this one world that looks like it's just like rainbows and grass and nature. And then you have another world that's like London or whatever. You could
You
escape to
got
multiple
London.
different worlds. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
exactly. So I could go anywhere I want in Wizard 101 world.
Rainbow
and
World
that's
or
where I'm gonna
London, whichever one.
It's like the complete opposite of you. It's all dark and
Exactly.
gloomy and shit.
That's
Exactly.
great.
See, the best of both worlds, just like Hannah Montana, bro.
Yeah,
Tell you
hell
what.
yeah.
Shout out Hannah Montana.
Shout out
Yeah,
Hannah.
shout out Hannah Montana.
So I have the honor of asking the last question. Every single person we've spoken to has actually said it is the most important question. What is your favorite color?
Purple.
You got a specific shade of purple?
Oh, it depends. It
Mhm.
has to be cool, dark purple,
Mhm.
or like a lavender purple. Oh, actually,
Oh,
perfect example right here, purple.
there you go. That is a very nice. That's like a nice like middle toned purple. That's good.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
she's got a little bit of dimension in there. We have like
Mhm.
light purple, lighter purple, and then like a darker-ish purple. My
Yeah.
favorite shades of purple I think are the lighter version and then like make the dark version a little more blue and a little darker.
Ooh, it's almost like touching like a little bit of a periwinkle.
Yeah. Oh, periwinkle, slay, slay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
You
damn straight.
vibes caught once more.
Come on,
Just
caught,
keeps catching
got
the
it.
vibes. They're being
Got
thrown
it.
her way. She's catching them.
Exactly.
So as Gloria said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Yeah, I mean, I guess hopefully I'll be able to see you guys on our run with Scene Queen and Girly. Like that's super sick.
I got New Jersey on my calendar already.
Let's
Goddamn.
go! dude!
Goddamn.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Well, you gotta pull up too, Glory.
I'm assuming, is there a Virginia date? I feel like Scene Queen was just in Virginia.
Maybe.
That's making me think, radius and time and all.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll
Yeah.
check.
I mean, we'll
but-
check. We'll check.
Yeah.
We also
Yeah,
have
yeah.
some headlining dates in between, so maybe you could catch one of those. And
That'd
then
be
there's also
very dope.
VIP for those. So
Oh.
who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
Hell yeah.
Hell
okay,
yeah.
okay, we'll
All
see,
right.
we'll see.
Well, thank you, Styles. It's been Kasey from Deadlands, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.